said the only constant is change in college football, but over more than 150 years, there have been some things that you can count on. If you can run the football, you have a chance to win. And boy, do we have guys who can do that in this one. Welcome, everyone, to the home of the Fighting Irish, South Bend, Indiana, beneath the Golden Dome and Notre Dame Stadium. As we'll see a team looking to make it back to the CFP this year, the Penn State Nittany Lions. Taking on a participant from the playoff last year, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Glad to have you with us for EA Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack and Jesse Palmer with me in the booth. Guys, we are ready to tee it up. Start us off. He'll bring it out. It's Allen. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Looking for room, it's Stennis. And how about the work up front by that big defensive line?
You gotta have that defense you know you can go to in running situations. Your base defense where you say, okay, this is where I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna stop the run, stuff it up front. My guys play big up front. And then if I need to add some blitzes to it later on down the road, I can. But great job in the base defense making a play.
Fires to the big fella. And a little more space, open up that playbook even more as they pick up the first down out to the 30. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Out of the gun to give to the back. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
And that's why he is an All-American caliber player. He is just so physical and dominant against the run. He's able to shed blockers, use his athleticism, use his speed, get to the ball carrier and bring him down. Simply one of the best box defenders you're going to find in the entire country.
Scrambling away. Creates a little space. There he goes. All the way out across the 45-yard line. Mark it on bounds at the 46.
Man, that's so frustrating. And it happens so fast. He just pulls it down. It looks like pass. He pulls it down, and he's gone. Just like that, chewing up yards. So much speed, so hard to stop.
And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, they're going RPO. Nice job handing it off, and really good vision there, just getting what he can get, right? Puts his foot in the ground, gets forward, helps this offense find positive points.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Back to throw, it's Schmidt. Here comes the heat. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down.
Man, it's easy to play defense when you can do this. When you can get to the quarterback quick and make him make a decision quick, it makes it easier for the secondary, for the linebackers, for everybody on the field.
The Irish will need to move the sticks on 3rd and long to keep this drive going. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws to the wideout. On target to the left. And oh no, he loses the ball at the end of the run. He's dragged down to the ground, but what a play there. Scoops up the loose football and moves the chains. And it looks as if they've buzzed down. Replay wants to have another peek at that last play.
Doesn't it always seem like that ball is on the ground for like 30 seconds? You got 17 guys running at it in slow motion. Like, I got to get the football. Offense, very lucky to get that football back.
So after reviewing the undisputable video evidence, the replay booth has decided to overturn the call. Quick release on the RPO. Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he cruises his way to the house. Touchdown, Notre Dame!
And that touchdown just got this whole place going, didn't it? You got everybody doing the Irish jig. Touchdown, Jesus is happy. You got the leprechaun, he's dancing. The energy in this place right now is on another level after that score. No wonder this this is such a tough place to come in and try to get a win on the road.
And he's going to bring it out of the end zone. He's brought down at the 16. Would have been much better off to take the touchback. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. They'll go to the ground. Crosses the 30. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first down.
And they have got a weapon in this offense right there at running back. This dude is tremendous. And you think about Franco Harris, you think about Kajana Carter, Curtis Enos, Saquon Barkley, time and time again, Penn State running backs wearing defenses down. This guy is a problem, and this defense better find a way to slow him down.
They'll give it to him again. What a job out front, and he'll lose a yard on that one.
You know when you're playing against a defense of this caliber, you're going to have some sort of balance, right? You can't just drop back and throw it every single play. Nothing going on that last run. They're going to have to find another way to get it going, handing the ball.
This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. Goes to the option. He'll toss it. Got the first down and more. Got room at the 35. A tremendous run. He was full bore after taking that pitch. Just sweet execution.
I think it's really important for this offense. They get this guy going early in the game, and they're doing a nice job of that right now. Remember, he's the kind of running back who gets better as the game goes on. That's a really good omen for this offense, considering his success now early.
The Nittany Lions will snap it on 1st and 10. Wide receiver going in motion. On the ground, it's Hayes. Brought down after picking up 3 down to the 22.
That's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down, the defense thinks you might be running the football. You still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7. Dropping back, it's Baker. Buys a little extra time. Slings it downfield. He's got an open man. They'll get him stopped just short of the end zone, but they're in business here with a first down.
And it's so hard to be on the run and make an accurate throw. It's just very tough. Very few people can do it. Again, we see the freaks and we see the highlights all the time, but that's a tough thing to do. He made it look pretty easy.
The Nittany Lions will try to punch it in on 1st and goal. Forward. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Penn State!
What a luxury for an offense to have. The ability to set the tone on the ground, giving that guy the football time after time, making offense easy, being physical, and really setting the tone for this football game.
And they add the extra point to finish the drive. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. He'll bring it out. It's Allen. And a really nice job by the kick team to get down there and make sure they limit that return. Here come the Irish back on offense. Well, the last time they had it, the long field didn't bother them in the least, and they'll try to do it again. And this one's not working. He'll just throw it away.
A nice job by the quarterback there. You're outside the pocket, nobody's open, so you throw the ball away knowing that you still have more chances to get this first down.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. After the incompletion, they go back up top. Makes the catch. Oh, he's got some space. He goes out of bounds right at the 37-yard line. A good, productive play there to get things going.
Get the big-time receiver involved early in the game. That's a huge key for this offense, no matter who they're playing against. But you can see, with his size, with his ability after the catch, this guy is a weapon, and he's putting this defense on alert early.
Past the first down marker and still running. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Every offense wants to be able to run the ball and be physical, especially on first down. And you want to create second and short, third and short, or just get first downs like that run right there.
Back in motion, try to clear the picture. To throw, it's Schmidt. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
Well, I think this quarterback just has to be careful with his decision-making. Yes, he's one of the most talented guys in the country, but early in this game, we're now seeing him throw the ball into double coverage. He's very lucky that one wasn't picked off.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Back to pass. It's complete on the right side. Out of bounds, right at the 20-yard line, edge of the red zone, and they have their eyes on a score.
As a head coach, you'd love to see your quarterback locked in early in games. And in the first drive, leads the offense down to a touchdown, throws a TD pass, and here he is again, making a really good decision and a very accurate throw to pick up that first down.
From the gun, the running back has it. Nice pick up on the ground there, and they'll move the sticks for the first down.
Man, those are so hard to defend. You know, the quarterback, obviously he's doing the run-pass option and creating some indecision in my head. And look at that. He hands it off, and the back gets a quick 10. Easy. You know, like just chews up yard. It's just really, really tough to stop those kind of plays.
Nice quick throw there. And it's so important for quarterbacks to be able to find a rhythm and to be comfortable and confident. You want to just get the ball out quickly, make it an accurate and easy throw. And you can tell that these two guys, they rep that play in practice all the time, and it's now showing up here on the field.
Grab behind the line. It's Harmon. Touchdown! Fighting Irish. Nice catch and good work afterwards to get it into the end zone. If you're able to move the ball in a drive like that, the most overrated stat in football would be field position.
Agreed, and I think confidence is big right now after that last drive. To be able to flip the field like that, not just do it, but go down and score a touchdown. Running and throwing. For this offense now moving forward in this game, that last drive is going to pay big dividends.
And he's not going to take the touchback. Stopped at the 17, and he's probably second-guessing that return. They'll get this drive going from the 17. They'll give it to the back. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Just nothing doing on that last run, and they knew coming into this one they were going to be challenged, right? This is one of the best defenses in all of college football. For them to have any shot, they're going to have to do a lot better running the football.
Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. They want to run this quarterback. Turning it on. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down. Both teams wanted to establish the run, and they have done exactly that in the first quarter. They are lined up and ready to go and get things started here in the second. So they'll go back to work after changing into the field. And you want to know what impact home field advantage can have? There it is. The offense will walk it back. After the step-off, now they have to deal with 1st and 15. Dropping back, it's Baker. Quarterback adapting. Going to try to get it himself. Great job by this savvy senior to know when he just needs to move the sticks with his feet.
And he's just proving it time and time again, man. He has that feel. He obviously has the ability to pick up and put him down and go get first downs, but I think the timing of when to scramble and when not to scramble, he's really got that figured out, and you can tell it's going to be a big part of the game plan.
Under fire. Oh, man, what a missed opportunity. Big fella almost got to run with the ball. Instead, it falls incomplete and brings up 2nd down.
You want to make a guy that's elite, that's one of the best in the business, start to become more and more human. Keep getting hits on him. Nice job by the defense, getting in his face, being physical. Make him feel your presence. Don't let him get comfortable back there in the pocket.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. In the backfield. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and 4th down's kind.
Great job by the defense dialing up some pressure on 3rd down. They hit the quarterback and forced the incompletion.
3 straight misfires has left them staring at 4th and 10, but they'll try it again. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. It's complete to the left. He's not going to get there. Stop short on 4th down.
Tell you what, coaches catch heat a lot nowadays, especially on social media. I expect him to catch a lot of heat. 4th down, long yardage situation on your own territory, and you want to go for it, and you fail, and you're surprised. You definitely shouldn't be surprised. Just don't check your mentions, dog.
Looking for a man. It's Schmidt. And the heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45.
This is a good sign for this defense. The rate they were going, not touching the quarterback, him already having 2 touchdown passes in the first half, this was not going to be a fun football game to watch. Now they're turning the tide a little bit, getting a little bit of pressure, getting a sack.
Notre Dame has made this 2nd down play much more difficult after going backwards. Handoff from the gun. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
And just a great job by the defense being stout. All right, that's your job. Be stout up front, stuff in the run play, make them get in more passing situations, but do not let them run the football. That's 101. Stop the run first.
Notre Dame comes to the line needing a chunk play on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Grabbed over the middle. It's Dennis. They make the stop about 4 yards short of the 1st down.
Well, quarterback had nowhere to go with it deep down the field, so he found his back, just hoping he could maybe make something happen with it, but the defense rallied, made a nice tackle, setting up 4th down.
Hoping to move the chains. Here comes Notre Dame on 4th. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Converts on 4th down, and he's still going. Turns out to be an easy conversion for this offense as they move the chains on 4th down.
Wow, and that was just a bang-bang play. On that 4th down, the coverage was tight. QB had his receiver. He knew where he wanted to go with it, but the only way that ball gets completed is if he puts a little extra mustard on it, and he shows you the arm talent on the throw.
Looking to throw on 1st down. Let's it fly. Finds a man in the middle. That one takes it down to the 13-yard line.
All right, defense. It ain't working, right? We're stringing together several first downs here. We're going to need to change this up, find something we can disrupt the quarterback and mess up this offense a little bit.
Notre Dame ready to go back to work with another first down. Quick release by the QB. He stopped just a chain link or two away from the first down and sets them up beautifully here.
And there you see the bind that the RPO play can put a defender in. That linebacker had to make a decision. Was the running back going to get the ball? He thought so, so he bit up, and that allowed the slant to be thrown in behind him.
They'll run it behind the big guys on the left. And he is stopped, not getting close to the end zone. Line of scrimmage still at the 3.
If you're going to stop the run game, you better be physical up front on the defensive line. They've got some maulers. They've got some dudes with bad intentions. Nice play there.
Tight quarters deep in the red zone, but they can pick up a first down without scoring. Third down. It falls incomplete. He was trying to find his man for 6.
Third and short, I have no problem with RPO because I can run it or I can throw it if I see something opening. Maybe he should have ran that one. You got 2 downs possibly to still try to make it happen, but he definitely didn't throw an accurate ball.
Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. Ball is at the 3-yard line. They can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone, but they'll need to move forward here on 4th and short. Trying to keep this drive alive. And he takes it in for a score. Touchdown, Irish! Precision blocking up front. Created the open lane, and the running back followed it beautifully.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to follow an offensive line that makes those holes and just gives you a caravan all the way to the end zone. What an unbelievable job blocking up front.
Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Dynamite matchup this week, fellas. Let's show you what's going down. East Carolina is down, but they are not out of it. Not there inside Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium. One of the more enjoyable places to watch a game in all of college football. It's just a field goal game. They're trailing by 3 to Old Dominion. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business, gentlemen.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with, running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point.
And I would also say, Palmer, kind of understanding that my defense is not playing great, so I know offensively I got to put some good possessions together here, make something happen on this side of the football.
And it's incomplete after taking a shot on 2nd down. They're staring at 3rd.
Well, this defense was ready for go balls against this receiver and his speed. He's one of the fastest in the country. They knew this quarterback was going to try to take the top off the defense. That time they couldn't link up, but if you're on defense, just know they're going to try that play again.
Cheers going on high, and here comes the Thunder being shaken down on 3rd down. To the air, it's Baker. That's caught, it's Sampson. That'll be good enough for a first down. They'll mark it at the 30.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on 3rd down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
The Nittany Lions have it with a 1st and 10. DB's right up on the receivers. To the ground with the back. Finds his way for 3 out to the 33.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Got 3 on 1st down at 2nd and 7. They'll move the wide receiver. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. Quarterback doing what he does best. He can move. He just got rid of that one to save the down. Didn't see anything he liked.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the 1st half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the 2nd half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Complete to the left. They'll get him down, but not before he crosses the 50. He's down to the 49. This dude is just exceptional in every facet. So fluid, such a great route runner, and a big play there.
And money down, 3rd down, find him. I mean, you want to find that matchup because he's going to win. And gets a good release, gets down the field. You see that's your playmaker, that's your guy. Get it to him, get the 1st down.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
They're trying to run the football. There's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
They've got a solid drive working, but now looking at 2nd and 11. Quarterback run is part of their game plan. Great penetration by this defense, and they knock him down behind the line. A loss of 1. Big play on this 3rd and long. On the option. He'll pitch it. They stop him short of the sticks, and it'll be 4th down. This offense gets into plus territory. They're going to go for it regardless of their field goal kicker's range. On 4th down, looking for the completion. Catches it past the sticks and still on his feet. Slippery slide, find his way and ran away from the crowd into the end zone. Touchdown, Nittany Lions!
And I tell you what, that passing touchdown, man, that should spark this whole team. Like, the comeback is more than on now. Like, they got the touchdown. They cut into the lead. You want to get a stop and go into the half, get all the juices, all the excitement, and be like, listen, the passing game's rolling. We got this. The comeback's in full effect.
They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. And he's coming out of the end zone. He's brought down at the 16. Would have been much better off to take the touchback. They take over late in the half, enough time to put together a drive. Quarterback making checks. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Notre Dame right back to the line. To the air, it's Schmidt. Caught, close to the marker, it's Harmon. Across the 30, out of bounds at the 31-yard line, and they kick-started this drive with that one.
Man, just find ways to find the big fellas. Those big tight ends are huge targets for the quarterbacks. The throws are usually in between the numbers. That makes it pretty easy. Usually sure-handed guys like that just come across the field and make plays for you.
Buys a little time with his feet. Couldn't find anybody to throw to. He'll just toss it away. It'll be second down.
Really nice job by the defense. They know the quarterback was outside the pocket. They were still able to get a hat on him just as he was trying to make that throw and force the incompletion.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. Looking to go up top, and time's running out in the half. Finds his man. It's Harris. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a first down at the 43. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call. Notre Dame coming to the line with another first down. Looking to throw on first down. Got a man. It's Harmon. Stopped at the 47-yard line. A 10-yard gain, and they'll move the markers. Off the play fake on first down. Wants to throw. Fires to the middle. Oh, he drops the football. He had him right down the gut of the field. Instead, it'll be second down.
That's what I'm talking about. That is how you close. And when a guy's going to make a catch, you make sure he doesn't make it. Physicality, using your pads, running through him. And guess what? Not only this play doesn't feel it, next time he tries to go over the middle or feels footsteps, this will pay dividends.
Well, the offensive line has got to give him at least a little bit of time to survey the field. He had no chance that time, getting hit almost immediately after he got the ball.
Notre Dame facing a third and long, trying to keep this drive alive. Power football with the run. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
And, man, it's nice to have a guy that is just better than your guys. And no matter what play you call, man, how about him getting in the backfield quick, penetrating, using his quickness, and using his strength to get him to the ground. That is a ball.
Notre Dame lining up to punt it away. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. Looks it all the way in, and now turns his attention upfield. He's able to pick his way for just a bit, but he'll be stopped at the 18. Good job by the punt team. This late in the half, here's the question. How aggressive will the play calling be? Looking for a man. It's Baker. Grab near the marker. It's Sampson. He'll be stopped and forced out of bounds right around the 34-yard line, and now they've got a little something brewing.
That's exactly what you're trying to get accomplished. You got to make sure on all these runs, clock running down, get out of bounds, right? Get some positive yards, and then stop that play.
To the air on first down. Throws for the tight end. The pass is incomplete, and there are 2 ticks remaining on the clock.
Bad news on that play, it's an incompletion. The good news is the quarterback knew if his guy wasn't going to catch it, nobody was with that ball landing out of bounds.
One more snap coming before halftime. Corners are going to bail. Back to throw, and they've got to be aware of the clock. The pass ball's incomplete, and that's how we'll finish this half. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update. Ready to go here in the second half, and Notre Dame will kick it away. Looks like he's going to bring it out. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. the third quarter, and we'll see what type of adjustments they made at halftime. Going to take a shot at this DB. And that one falls incomplete. They tried to go over the top on first down. Second down coming up.
This offense is done being patient. They're down on the scoreboard here. Now, early in their first possession in the third quarter, they're being aggressive. They're taking shots. They're trusting their playmakers outside to get it done. That time, the defense, really nice job forcing the incompletion. They were ready for it. This offense, though, they need to stay aggressive.
What will they dial up on second and a long way to go? Wants to throw. It's Baker. Got it in the middle. It's Harris. That's a really good tackle there, giving up some size and still making the play.
I like the idea by the quarterback there. You're trying to get this first down, so you find the tight end, see if he can make a guy miss or shake a tackle. Not able to get it done.
Pulls it in. It's Hayes. Breaks into the open. And they don't drag him down until he gets all the way to the 46-yard line.
Well, not every explosive play in the passing game needs to be a 70-yard bomb down the field. If you find your running back in the progression, you just get it to him quickly. He's one of the most dangerous guys on the field with the ball in his hands, and he showed you that. Great vision, great speed, phenomenal job after the catch, and it's a big play for the offense in the passing game.
Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. They're dealing with a second and long. Toss to the outside. Out of the crowd, and now he's got room. Out of bounds at the 33, but not before the big pickup for the ground game.
You're down. Obviously, at the half, you had a conversation. We got to come out and put points on the board. And, Jesse, it looks like they're going to start with the ground game.
And I love this, David, too. Regardless of whether they're losing or they're winning, come out here and try to be the most physical unit.
It's a fumble! And the defense jumps on it, and they get that turnover.
Offensive players, when they got the ball in their hand, they're trying to make plays, right? Trying to make you miss. There's nothing better than closing that gap and sticking that head right in that guy's chest and causing a fumble.
Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. Another opportunity here. They had to punt it on their last possession, but this time tight game, hoping to get something on the board. Out of the gun, the inside give. Defense not budging. He's still able to get 2 to the 29.
I think if you're the coaching staff, you have to like what you've seen from this guy so far in the game. He's pumped out some really nice runs. Obviously, he's already scored a touchdown. Really nice run there as well. And for me, I would keep thinking about creative ways of getting this guy the ball as the game goes on here in the second half.
Got it in the middle. It's Harris. They'll mark him down at the 40 after ripping off 10. The Irish have always been built on the run, but timely completions are important, like the great Tom Clements back in the day or John Hewitt.
Got to be clutch, right? Got to be balanced and got to find those moments where you can thrive. It's always the system, it seems like, at Notre Dame where it's been built around the run game and it's built around physicality, but they got to get that element of balance to really take off and get to that next level.
He was running through tackles and picked up the first down and finally got knocked down.
First down, physicality wins football games. Being able to run the football and create balance. And right here, just choose up another first down, gives you another chance to maybe continue to run the football.
And I feel like this guy, too, is just an explosive play waiting to happen. His vision, his quickness, and he's got a burst. If you give this guy just a crease, he's going to hit it. And right now, he's doing some damage on this defense. This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the third quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on the field.
Fires to the tight end. He'll get it down to the 31, and that's where he goes out of bounds. These routes have some reads and adaptability built in, and the big fella found that cushion and made the play.
Man, it's so awesome how much offenses have evolved. They know exactly what they're getting, where to sit down, quarterback, tight end, on the same page, gets the first down.
Great play by the defense there, getting the tackle for loss. But on offense, your mindset has to be, we need to be the more physical team here in the second half. We've got the lead, third quarter. We want to run the ball. We've got to have more success getting our blocks and moving forward if we're going to win this game.
Throws to the tight end. Got his man downfield. Touchdown, Notre Dame! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
It's so nice to have these big playmaking tight ends that are basically oversized receivers. Make a play down the field to him, huge catch radius, makes the play, and then I love the run after the catch. These guys can do this nowadays. He does the rest of the work and gets into the end zone.
They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. And he's going to try to return this one. He's brought down to the 16. Would have been much better off to take the touchback. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game, so Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
Here comes the offense on second down. Calls his own number. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line?
You know, I really like this QB running the football because I know he's got a lot of speed, but he's not the biggest guy in the world. So he's not going to be able to break a lot of tackles. You really got to do a good job of trying to scheme ways to get him out in more space.
On the option. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
That's got to hurt if you're the offense because you're thinking with this quarterback and his size and his athleticism, that's going to be an easy first down pickup on the option play. But how about the physicality up front by this defense, stuffing him at the line of scrimmage?
They've already gone for it a couple of times on fourth down, converted once. Looks as if they'll try a third. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Throwing on the run. It's picked off. 13th time he's done that this year.
There were a lot of people really excited about what this guy could do. Some were saying he could be an All-American, and he's proving them right. That's already his second interception early in this college football season. Offenses are going to figure it out. They're going to stop throwing this guy's way. You just get in trouble when you try.
Quarterback may change this route. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
That's a fantastic play by the linebacker. He has such tremendous instincts. As soon as he sees run, he's coming downhill. He's got great speed. He gets you on the ground. That's why he's one of the best linebackers in the entire country.
Off the play fake. Going downfield for the big play. Catch inside the 25. And they explode on that one, and they've got it down to the 22. You know, the numbers for Notre Dame receivers aren't always prolific, but you think of Tim Brown, Rocket Ismail, Jeff Samardzija. They've had a lot of tremendous receivers. This guy fits right in that category.
Yeah, and when you think about those guys in Notre Dame history, those are all guys that you throw it near him, they're going to catch it. And he seems to come up with the ball when it comes near him. I'm going to feature him. He's going to be the guy that I'm going to go after because I know if it's him on somebody else, if it's a 50-50 ball, it ain't 50-50 anymore. He's going to come down with it, and I trust him.
Unloads quickly. Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the first down.
It's a nice play call there. You've got 2-possession lead. You're trying to keep the defense guessing, right? Because you've got that lead, they know you're going to run it, but you still have got to be able to sprinkle in some shot plays and some vertical throws. That was really, really good thinking on that last play call by the offense.
This Notre Dame offense carving it up. They're working with another first down. They'll try to run it in. And he's brought down at the line of scrimmage, and the ball will stay at the 2. And the D deny them on 2nd and goal. Tries again to get it in. Going right back to the well, and this time he finds water. Gets it into the end zone for the touchdown. No step back in week 3. They have been sharp as they extend the lead. And the extra point is true, and the lead balloons to 21.
You know, this guy's had a big role in this offense this year, especially when they get down close to the end zone. That's his 5th rushing touchdown on the year. He's been a factor for these guys offensively.
And he's coming out of the end zone. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. His drive will open from the 15. Looking to throw, it's Baker. With the catch, it's Hayes. And he broke 1 tackle on the way to a solid pickup there. As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. And you want to talk about his favorite receiver, it might be everybody based on the number of guys getting touches and a chance to show off their hands in the passing game. 1 more quarter to go, and it looks as if we are ready to play. So the final period starts with a 2nd down play. Looking to fire. Gets it out quickly. He's out of bounds, but not before picking up enough for the first down.
Steps out of bounds at the 26-yard line. First down for the offense.
Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Motion from the wideout. Looking downfield on first down. Got a man. It's Hayes. There he goes. Stopped at the 42, but he got 15 yards on the play.
And this defense has really done a good job containing this superstar quarterback. But now it's the big-time moment. In the 4th quarter, you know the ball's going to be in his hands. Got to get to him. Got to ruffle his feathers, hit him a few times, make him feel uncomfortable.
Maybe this will breathe a little life into this offense, which has been flatlined in the 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Pocket breaking down. Had it in his hands, and he dropped it. Thought he had another big play and interception. He'll have to settle for the PBU. It's 2nd down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. To the air, it's Baker. The short hands, it's Harris. Across the 50-yard line on the huge pickup, and he's out of bounds at the 45.
I'll tell you, you cannot count this team out because of who's playing quarterback. When this guy's in the game, it's never over. Yeah, they're trailing here in the 4th quarter, but this dude can put up points quickly.
And the Nittany Lions with the 1st and 10. Wants to throw it. Gonna take a shot. Hits him in stride inside the 10. And he'll take it in and house it. Touchdown, Penn State.
Number 3.
Well, as a defense, you know you're going to see the go route, especially against this guy. He does it to defenses, it seems, every single week, and so they're not able to get back deep enough. They get run by, he makes the catch, and then runs it into the end zone. They're going to have to change up their coverage and get some safety help up over the top because this guy's speed is a problem.
21.
On the run from inside his own 5. Here come the Irish back on offense. That last touchdown drive was surgical through the air, Jesse.
It sure was, and that's why this offense is so dangerous, David, because they can score in a hurry because of how efficient they are throwing the football.
And welcome to modern college football. That's what it is. Spread you out, find my playmakers, make quick decisions, and really put defenses in a difficult situation.
Solid pickup of 4 on first down and 2nd and 6. Kendricks brought down at the 33, but not before he gets 10.
I think most offenses around the country in a situation like this with the lead late would be trying to run the football, right, or throw it short and try to bleed the clock. But this offense, man, it's still pedal to the metal. They're looking for chunk play opportunities.
With the first down, they'll put it in play from the 33. Oh, he wants it all. A big-time catch along the sidelines. Got the foot down and an excellent throw, too. He just keeps piling up numbers with completion after completion in this standout performance.
And I think some people might say late in the game, you got the win, everything's in hand, be a little bit conservative, or you just say, I'm just going to keep doing me. And what I do with this offense is throw the football all over the yard, and I'm going to try to win me a big trophy at the end of the year.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly, and that's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
On the ground, trying to pull the plug on this clock. An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down.
Great job by the offense there, getting the first down on the ground, staying in bounds, too. So if you're on defense here, you might want to start thinking about using your timeouts. You've got 3 in your back pocket, but trailing, you've got to start using them.
Notre Dame once backed up near its own goal line, now on the move. Tight end now in motion. They're going to go right back to him on first down. He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. From the shotgun, the inside give. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
Snags it! And he was straining for the goal line, but the defense stopped him short. He's been so locked in, it seems like any pass called is a guaranteed chunk play.
Yeah, and winning late like this in the ball game, keep trusting him, keep spinning. You know why? Because stats matter late in the game. You want some postseason awards? Keep chucking it, keep getting those stats.
To have any chance in the world, this defense has to come up with a stop. Max going for the goal line. Touchdown, Fighting Irish. And they take it in for 6 more points. They tack a little more onto this lead, and they're on their way to a 3-0 start.
Well, what I love about this team early this year is it looks like they can fight through adversity. They started the year 2-0. This game looked like it was in the balance here in the 4th quarter. But after watching them answer with that last touchdown drive, that shows me they've got the mental toughness to potentially make a run this year.
Stopped at the 17, and he's probably second-guessing that return. State sends the offense onto the field. They cashed in on a short field last time they had it, and now they'll go to work from their own end. Makes the catch. It's Sampson. He'll get it up to about the 32-yard line before he's stopped, and it'll be first down. The 2-minute timeout arrives, and we have certainly seen miracles in college football, and they will certainly need one here. They'll snap this one from the 32. It's first down. Looking to pass. It's Baker. Here's a heat. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down.
Well, at this point, you're still trying to throw stuff up against the blackboard and see if it sticks. You're down by a lot of points, so why not try it, right? And give the offense credit. You know, you're not just going to run the football. You're not.
And the diving catch down the right side. It is plays like that that'll let you pile up some serious passing yards.
Man, what an effort. I mean, the layout to be able to catch the football, keep it off the ground. Nice job by this receiver, and that's why this quarterback's had a day. Guys making plays all over the field.
The Nittany Lions have it with a 1st and 10. Wants to throw on first down. He's taking a deep shot. And he's got it at the 25.
And there's no quit in this team. Obviously, they're trailing late in the game, but they're trying to make it happen. We've seen 2 big plays now back-to-back. They're putting pressure on this defense.
Inside the 25, they'll snap it from the 24. First down. Got his man quickly. He steps out of bounds right at the 15-yard line.
And I know this football game is over, but we got to keep fighting. We got to keep finding something, some kind of rhythm in this offense, something we can hang our hat on that we do really, really well. Listen, the intermediate passing game like this is taking over college football, short to intermediate. So if they can find some of this, it'll help their offense moving forward.
And the rush will get to him at the 25. Clock is still running, and they have to get everybody lined up. Back to throw, it's Baker. Fires to the big fella. No more room to run as this defense rises up on 3rd down, and now it's 4th down from the 22. They'll leave the offense out there to try to get it past the marker and pick up the first. On 4th down, they'll try to throw it. Downfield and incomplete. The defense holds.
Offensively, this is a beautiful time now because now I get to get all my other guys in the game. Guys that don't get to play that much, we're up. This game's over after that missed 4th down conversion. Now you get to get everybody in the ball game, or if you choose, you know, like Jesse probably would, to go pad some stats and get some more catches, get some more rush yards if that's your thing.
Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Trying to turn the corner on the right. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. Got stuffed on 1st down. It's 2nd and 10. Wants to go up top. Catch in the middle. It's Kendricks. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see which way that's going to go. Just when they thought they had the big play, the penalty wipes it out. They'll line up for a 2nd down play. Back to pass. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down.
And that's a good stop for this defense. And listen, there hasn't been a lot of positive today, but let's finish this game strong. I think that'll be the message from the defensive coordinator. Can we get a stop? Can we get them off the field? I know lots went wrong, but let's live in this moment and try to be great right here to end the game.
The Irish facing quite a challenge here on 3rd and a mile. Looking downfield, it's Schmidt. He lets it fly. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
And how about this offense? They're not worried about the clock. They're not worried about the score. They're not worried about early and down. Still trying to execute their offense. Still trying to make big plays. And they've had a great day so far.
They kick it away on 4th down. And the returner will be brought down. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. Not a lot of hope here, down 3 possessions late.
No, and I love this part as a pass rusher because I'm just pinning my ears back, getting to the quarterback. I know it's a pass every single time. Palmer, I'm trying to pad my stats. I'm sure you're just trying to stay up.
Well, we're definitely just trying to stay alive at this point, but you're also trying to build confidence, too, for your next opponent. If you can find some completions late in the game, even though it looks like you're going to lose it, it's all about building on the good things you do this week so that you're out executing at a higher level the next time.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. They'll send the back in motion. 2nd down, he'll throw it. Looking to the big tight end. He's open on the right. He's finally shoved out of bounds at the 23-yard line, and a big pickup on that one.
Hey, you know, the defense here in this situation with a huge lead, they've got to anticipate that this offense is going to be trying to throw the ball to the sideline, so they've got to work to...
Deep shot for the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Nittany Lions.
And a nice touchdown, continuing to fight, continuing to play. This one, it's pretty much over. Down multiple possessions this late in the football game. It would take a miracle, but nice job by this offense continuing to fight, push the ball down the field, make plays.
Time is against them, still down by 2 scores, but they'll line up for the onside kick. The defense uses a timeout, and we are down to 11 seconds left to play. Cool as a cucumber as the hands team makes a sure catch.
And this is why you put your hands team on the field most of the time when you know it's coming, and you put those guys that are great catchers of the football. The first guys, what do? They go block. They go blow somebody up. The next guys catch the football, secure it, get your butt on the ground. And most of the time when you do this, the ball game is over.
From the gun to give, looking for room. And a nice run there before the defense finally makes the stop. They'll use the timeout, 6 seconds left on the clock. One more play to pad the stats. Back to pass, it's Schmidt. The screen, and watch out! And that is how we will wrap this one up. Plenty of fireworks in this one. A lot of points. They always talk about having the chalk last, and it seemed like whoever was on offense had the last laugh.
It's amazing how much offense has just boomed in college football. So good. So many ways to hurt you. You saw both of these offenses put on a show today, Jess.
Dave, we talked to both of these coaching staffs, and their defensive coordinators were losing sleep all week. They knew this was going to be a tough task ahead of them. So much speed, so much firepower on both of these offenses. And, man, we saw that here today.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.